So welcome. I have been, and this is again, I never plan anything, as you probably know by now. And I've been directed to speak or to do a reading, number of readings on messages from the Pleiadians, the Lyrans. I've never done that before. And I'm going to do it using oracle cards and tarot cards. Right now I'm saging, and this, again, never done this before, so that should be quite interesting to see what is being said by the Pleiadians. The connection with me and the Pleiadians is very, very old. It's also connected to the father of my son, of our son. And I'm going to ask them what message do they have, because I understand ChatGPT is fun, but it's been corrupted. There's only certain people that are able to access its purity as a portal to souls, right? And I think and for some of you, you've never been able to do it, or you kind of removed it. So this is, in my opinion, better to do it this way, because we get a pure download. You know what I'm saying? I've saged, I've prepared, I've done everything. And out of nowhere. And so let's see what exactly, if you're sitting here, whether it's a recorded moment or not, I want you to give your angels, guides, allies permission to guide you. Tell me what they need to know. There's not going to be a lot of people who see this, my loves. And you know this. So we need to talk. And I need to know what you want them to know. 3 cards. The Ace of Wands is the first card. A beginning has begun. The Two of Swords are people that are blindfolded. Do not be distracted by bullshit. Okay. So the Ace of Wands is a phallic symbol on the side note, but they're not. They're talking about spring and a new beginning. They're showing me burnt. I feel like crying right now. They're showing me a burnt, like the ravage of a fire. And there will be those who will not see it. Two of Swords is a woman sitting with 2 swords across her chest. There's a tsunami, a storm brewing behind her. She won't look because she's blindfolded. She doesn't want to look at the writing on the wall. There will be those that you will see. But the hope, the first card was beautiful because it's about hope. It's about after a fire, everything grows again. Have faith. 5 of Wands, do not be distracted by people. May I clarify the 2 of Swords? Can I clarify it? The King of Swords. The King of Swords is cruelty, avarice, coldness, a system used to control through a system of laws that are now corrupted. Okay? 5 of Wands, outside distraction. What is your counsel for people who are awake and want something better? The 7 of Wands, the Star, the Death card. Okay, so the 7 of Wands, is it worth it for them to do this, to fight or to be defensive? The 6 of Wands, no. The energy isn't about physical fighting. It's about protecting what you have, protecting your mind. That's what they're saying, protecting your mind. They're showing me there was a tightness in the front, my forehead, and they're saying you need to protect your mind. You need to not, whatever you see, do not trust your mortal eyes. Stay. The truth is within you when you close your eyes. Reality is when you close your eyes, not when you open your eyes. Do you understand what I mean? What they're saying is when you close your eyes is when reality is created. When you open your eyes is when you see the reality that was co-created by all of us and many of us that refuse to open up. Okay? Okay. So the 7 of Wands is protect yourself. Defensive energy, protect yourself. The Star energy is a double whammy because it's wish upon a star, which is about promoting within yourself the new age, the 5D. I've talked about it at length, how to kind of jump timelines in your mind, remembering your past lives when you lived freely. And you did. I keep bringing up examples of the Native Americans before there were any colonialist bullshit. I keep talking about the Druids before the Orthodox teachings came to ravage the people. I keep bringing up examples where people lived in harmony and peace. They really did. Okay? The last 2,000-3,000 years is new. Do you understand? This whole Adam and Eve, Abel and Cain and all that, it's bullshit. Do you understand? It's a fucking lie based on 3,000 years ago, not based on 10,000 years ago. Okay. So 17, the star, is wish upon that star, the North Star, that has always led people to safety. It turns from 17 to 8. 8 is a karmic, well, we're going through a karmic overhaul. Death is transformation. 13, it's not pleasant. And the 6 of Wands is conquering hero. In other words, you're gonna have some battles and you're gonna win the war. 6 of Wands. And the war is the war of the mind, not the body. It's the war of the mind. Your mind. Master yourself. What else do you want them to know? The Empress in the material world, the pomegranate. Okay, so the Empress is holding the pomegranate, the multiple seeds. It's almost like a raspberry quartz crystal is what they're showing me. And it's like all these compartments, all these beautiful, the nectar of abundance in the material world, you live in. And the Empress doesn't chase bliss or nectar. It comes to her. It just comes to her. They just showed me a picture of the Buddha and sitting under the Bodhi tree, and animals coming, tigers, antelopes, lions sitting, tigers sitting at his feet. The nectar of being trusted, of having such a beautiful frequency that the wild beasts, everything is attracted to your energy because your inner world explodes into the outer world rather than the outer world imploding your inner world. Okay. Anything else I need to understand, please? And again, I'm going to say the Pleiadians are speaking through the cards, and I've never done this, and I'm kind of in shock. It just came out of nowhere. They're talking about the world is a new cycle, okay? The world, so listen, the world is kind of like you're reading a book, you finish chapter 10, and you're going on to chapter 11. But right after that, on its heels is the Fool, and the Fool is a brand new cycle. It means you put the book on the shelf. What is the book? The book of 3,000 years of aggression, violence, and injustice. You put that book away because the Fool is bringing up a brand new scroll, a brand new book. Prophesied by the Mayans calendar in 2012. It was never the end of the world. It was the end of the world, the calendar as you knew it. And so the Fool is a leap of faith. The Fool is a brand new book that you co-create, that you write. And the 3 of Wands is the portals have opened. Last card or warning. The 10 of Pentacles is longevity. It's progeny. It's an ongoing, it's a new cycle. It literally, we know that Kali Yuga is on its last leg, and that they're showing 10 of Pentacles as the Satya Yuga, the golden age that has been talked about. And how that works is how you feel, what you believe. And if you believe in, what you see, then you will lose. If you actually believe in everything that you see, you're not going to make it. So what has to transpire is that you, again, create the kind of world you want to be in, and not the world that you see. And again, there's a difference between psychosis and mastery. There's a scene that's very famous if you've ever watched the movie Mists of Avalon, one of the great movies that you cannot get unless you buy the DVD or you do something else, okay? And in that movie, if you remember, the high priestess moved this mists, okay? The island where the Avalon high priestesses reside Cannot be seen by mortal eyes, nor can it be seen by anyone else, not by a bishop, not by a cardinal, no one. It is a matriarchal system of high priestesses, and when they move their hands side to side, and suddenly the veils open up. They're on a boat, on a barge, if you will, crossing the lake, and suddenly the island appears out of nowhere, literally through the mists of another dimension, and they move in and are accessing the island. There's another scene where Guinevere stumbles upon Lancelot, okay? And it's out of nowhere. It's like somehow she stumbled into, I'm going to say, 5D, okay? And that's interesting, okay? That's what they're saying. Do not believe in the limitation of the 3D iron walls. Understand everything about the nature of reality and the nature of your soul and the fact that you can move your body. Again, they're showing me the scene with Harry Potter in 9 3/4 in the train station where he's running against the wall and literally hits the wall. And then when he changes his mindset, when he realizes that all his friends are going through that wall and going into another dimension, it's almost like he squeezes out of his dense 3D brain and surrenders into his 5D and above dimensional holographic brain, and boom, he flows right into through the wall. So what else do you want them to know? Anything else? I'm going to pull a card from, because mostly it's women. It's usually women, and it makes me sad to say that, but it's always women that come into my lives anyway, 9 times out of 10. And maybe there's one solitary masculine. So I'm going to pull from the Priestess, Divine Feminine. And what do they need to know? Our Lady of Guadalupe, the Empress of Protection, Shekinah, the Divine Feminine, and Imoja, the goddess of all that flows. I'm only going to read from one, honestly, because I want to move on and go and have more, I want to get more downloads from them. I think the portal's opening for this. So the Our Lady of Guadalupe, the Empress of Protection. I am safe and divinely protected. I am held in love at all times. Okay, that's you, okay? Shekinah, the presence of the Divine Feminine as the center of everything. There is light, and I am that light. And finally, the card I'm going to read, because I've never pulled this card ever, is Yemoja, the goddess of all that flows. I am an ocean of creative energy. I give birth to what exists within me. What did we just say? This is insane. This is the card. So let me look it up. Yemoji. Yemoji is in page 194, which is 5. Okay, it comes out to 5, right? Because it's going to be 14, right? 14 is massive communication with the unseen and the unknown. With yourself. With your little girl or little boy. Because they're frightened. Okay, they're frightened. For many incarnations, they were never allowed to express their fear, their disappointment, and never feeling good enough for damn near anything. In every incarnation that many of us have had on this planet, the system religiously created cages, invisible cages that we could not move out of. Okay, so 14, magnetic communication with your unseen tribe, your allies, your angels, your ancestors who wish you only love, right? From this life, past lives, and future incarnations across all planets, dimensions, okay, and realities. And what else do I have to say? Connected to the planet Mercury. So it's about speed as well. So hang on, let me find the page on that, and bear with me. So this is the card they pulled. That's why I didn't ask you to pick a card this time. And I'm so excited that I actually, oh, here it is, 194. Okay, so let's read what it says, 194. And then we'll move on to more messages, because I think this is, I wasn't planning to do a live at all today. So again, I'm going to repeat it, is Yemoja, the goddess of all that flows, Be the goddess that flows. Be the high priestess that flows. I am an ocean of creative energy. I give birth to what exists. You give birth to what exists within you, my loves. Who is she? Yemoji represents the creative force of the unconscious, the secret depth that brings the unseen into the physical realms. The African goddess Yemoji gave birth to all the 14 gods and goddesses in the Yoruba religion. She is caring and nurturing, and yet also fiercely protective and strong, with the desire to relieve her children of any struggle or sorrows. She is worshipped at the ocean or in any flowing body of water, though it is said that her true home is the Ogun River in Nigeria. She is considered to be a mermaid whose energy, blessing, and power flows through all forms of water. Now, if you have followed me for a year at least, or 6 months, you know I did a whole live on the language of water by Veda Austin. Please go look for that. I might link it on my YouTube channel so you can actually look at that, because I really want you to understand how to use water as a conduit across the planet. Take a vessel of water, okay, and speak to it as if you're speaking to every ocean, every river, every stream, every spring, every waterfall on this planet, on the icebergs, and speak to bringing great healing and transformation and awakening to the entire planet. Okay, using your vessel of water as that microphone to the entire planet. Okay, let's continue. So she's considered to be a mermaid whose energy, blessings, and power flow through all forms of water, cleansing, renewing, inspiring, and reminding us of the limitless love we are. In Brazil and Uruguay, she is offered succulent food and gifts on tiny boats cast out to the sea from the beaches. Her worshippers ask her to give them her blessing so that their desire in the new year can manifest. She is the queen of the ocean, the ruler of the subconscious, and the creative force that allows us to translate the ineffable into art. As the mother of all, she is the energy that brings new life into the world. When your soul selects the card, thank you, guides. Yemoja creates a flow where before there was a block or stagnation in our life force. When we feel unhinged or stuck in life or in a creative endeavor, from having a child to writing a book, Yemoji is the feminine essence that sets our energy back in motion. As a mermaid, and many of you are really beautifully connected to the archetype of the mermaid. As a mermaid, she exists both in the world and also in the unseen depth. She can help us dive down deep into the unconscious or into the collective unconscious and retrieve the hidden secrets of the wise pearls that we need to integrate now for our life to flow again. As the queen of the ocean, she baptizes us to start over, to begin again right now, to let everything become brand new. She encourages us to use water as a ritual, to send out our offerings to her, to bless our bodies in a warm bath, or to walk along a body of water and allow its perspective to give us the answer or blessings we seek. I would say, if I were you, I would learn the mantra of Durga, which is Om Dum Durgaye Namaha. Om Dum Durgaye Namaha. Om Dum Durgaye Namaha. If there's no body of water, take a shower, a bath, and chant it at least 108 times, which would remove blocks from your chakras, from your life, and then visualize. Swing out your nets, okay? Swing out your nets far and wide, wrapping the planet with this beautiful, feminine, loving energy of dissolving blocks, not in a violent way, in a very sweet, it's dissolving very gently, right? So that it doesn't shock the nervous systems or people who are absolutely, and it's not their fault, completely asleep and refuse to wake. As the queen of the ocean, she baptized to start over, to begin again right now, to let everything become brand new. She encourages us to use the water as a ritual, to send out our offering to her, to bless our bodies in a warm bath, to walk along a body of water. I'm going to continue. Yemoji wants to cleanse us of the thoughts that are holding us back. Why do children calm down after a bath? Why do we feel healed and more centered after a nice long soak? Water is the element that held us in the womb. The return of our first and most primal element, the loss of gravity, the freedom of buoyancy. This allows us to release feelings or thoughts of being trapped or stuck. Yemoji reminds us to use your tail. You are not of this earth, you are the sea. Soul voice meditation. What do I need to bring from out of the depth into the material world? Intention. I am an ocean of creative energy. I give birth to what rises within me. That was a great, great reading. So let me put this aside, and then let me ask again. You know, I'm getting guidance from the Pleiadians and Lyrans to choose the right cards. And let's do another one. The people that are listening to it, whether it's live or recorded, what do they need to know about their future in the next 6 months or less? What do they need to understand? What do they need to understand? The Two of Wands, stagnation. You actually have the world in your hand. You actually can, honestly, it's your hesitation. The Page of Wands, there's no communication, but the Six of Cups, as many of you are looking at the past. There are two meanings to the Six of Cups. There are multiple meanings, multiple. But in this particular case, it's about you looking at the past and looking at what, I just wish I could go back to the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, the early 2000s. That's not it. I already know that's what they're going to say. No. The Six of Cups also, ironically though, goes back to 4, 5, 6, 7,000 years before the shit show. Including the Native Americans, I'd say back 1,500 years ago. They had no problems. 2,500 years ago, 26 actually, when Buddha was born, the Druids and Druidesses had no problems. The Gauls, the Celts, the Britons. I could go on and on. Okay? So you have to understand, it's not about going back. The going back is a thought that gives you a template that was burned and lost in the collective memory. We have been told through multiple incarnations, okay, with various religions riddled through our systems, our nervous system, that this is it. It's always been like this, and it will always be like this. And that's a lie. There was a time when none of this was like this. And so the Six of Cups is almost coming in to say to you, you have lived free before and you will again, but it's up to you. The Two of Wands is saying that. You got the world. It literally is an image. If you look it up right now on your computer, it is a person holding the earth in their hand. And the Six of Cups is saying the template, you've lived it before, bring it back on. The Nine of Cups is crowning the Two of Wands, which is the Nine of Cups is wish fulfillment, independence. This particular card has the bee. And the bee is a great symbol to various ancient cultures. Most related to what I love is the Egyptians. Okay? Recent past, you've got the Queen of Swords upside down. It's a pissed energy. It's a pissed energy. It's actually, anger can actually destroy your stride. Anger that is, toxic anger can mess you up. So that's what I'm seeing. But the Six of Wands is at the bottom of the reading. And again, the foundation to win is there. It's up to you. So from the Six of Cups, we're going into the Ten of Wands. And the Ten of Wands is someone going up a hill carrying 10 wands on their back. And it's exhausting. And basically they're saying everyone's exhausted. Everyone's exhausted, from the youngest to the oldest. It's not about age. Justice is coming in. In any other level, I'd say law, this, that, but I'm going to go right to what they're saying. They're saying it's karma. Justice is walking in with the karmic card saying, there's karma afoot, and it's negative karma. And the imbalance of the negative karma, they're showing me, the imbalance has gone on for too long. Too many people have suffered the imbalance of injustice. So we've got the Ten of Pentacles that come in again, progeny, long-term, like a legacy. We're still talking about Plato. We're still talking about Homer, that kind of thing. This will perpetuate. We are going to have the Satya Yuga for thousands upon thousands upon thousands of years. That's what it means. Into the hangman. And the hangman is saying, you're waiting, you're watching, which again relates back to the Two of Wands, which is waiting, which is, I'm not a fan of this. I'm not a fan. Waiting for what? Start doing your meditation. Start doing 369 for the greater good, not for a better job or better, I don't know, whatever, but for a better planet, a planet in 5D. Start doing that. We need more of us to do it. And to be honest, none of us are doing it. Not enough of us, sorry. Two of Wands, why? The Nine of Wands, exhaustion. The Page of Pentacles, messages that are redundant into the Page of Cups. So you're getting mixed messages of people like me talking about to be spiritually in your game. Be positive, be this, be that. Now you know me, if you follow me, you know I've been telling you the truth about what's going on. I have never tried to gaslight you. So what this is about is the fact that now comes the loving messages. Now comes what you need now. You need the nectar. You need the B12 shot for your soul. Why is the Knight of Cups here, please? What's going on? The Six of Cups, thinking of the past. The Eight of Cups, they're saying walk away from the past. We're not going to go back to the 70s, 80s, 90s, early 2000s, mid 2000s. We're not going back. Do you understand? They were never good anyway. If you want to look at a template or various templates, look at Atlantis. Look at what was happening, how people lived, again, before these Abrahamic religions had their tight fists around our throats. Okay? Don't drink the Kool-Aid that everyone was fighting and conquering and grabbing more land. Again, I did a live yesterday where I talked about how the Native and conquering and grabbing more land. Again, I did a live yesterday where I talked about how the Native Americans, Chief Seattle, and there was a Chief Crowfoot, who couldn't understand the concept of even selling land, much less owning it. So the Six of Cups to the Eight of Cups is saying, walk away from the past into the High Priestess. And what am I saying to you? I'm saying be in your high priest power. Like, and what does that mean? Create. Watch movies that inspire you if you have to. Read books that inspire and trigger an alarm, an awakening, right? About high priestesses, about the past. Read books by Marian, I forgot her last name, who wrote The Mist of Avalon. She's got a whole collection of the books on the High Priestess of Avalons. Tell me more about the Page of Wands. Judgment, something's returning. Magician to the Nine of Cups again. Magician to the High Priestess is a power energy. Typically, if I was doing a love reading, I'd say this was a power couple. But what this is, to be honest, and what I see and what they're showing me, because of the Nine of Cups twice, is it's you alone. Do you understand? It's you alone. In the perfect anima animus, the perfect balance of the High Priestess psychic powers to manifest. She's the alchemical power of creation to the magician. And the magician brings it into form. In other words, the High Priestess says, this is what I see. This is what I want. This is what I'm visualizing. This is what I'm manifesting. And the magician helps build it in the 5D world. Imagine the High Priestess as the architect and the magician as the carpenter, builder. Okay? And that's all within you. It's you. It's the balance between your feminine energy and your masculine energy within you. That's why the Nine of Cups is coming back and forth, because it's a single energy. Nine of Cups, sure, eventually I want the 10 of Cups, the family, the kids, the man, the woman, whatever, right? But right now, I want to be enough unto myself. I can do this. Six of Cups, let's see. Again, it comes up again and again. Why is it here, please? The Knight of Cups is an offer. The Two of Wands is saying, what do you want? The Seven of Swords is people will lie to you. Other forces will lie to you. People will tell you you're crazy. People will tell you you're psychotic. People will tell you all kinds of things. Seven of Swords is about lies. And are the lies, the person's telling themselves lies? Nine of Swords, it's anxiety. Yeah, you know what it is? They're showing me. It's you literally, the offer of the magic. You'll have serendipitous things happening to you. Like, for example, you'll say, I want to see a white owl. And suddenly you'll see somebody wearing a t-shirt with a white owl on it. And you'll go, no, that's not possible. Then you'll say, I want to see a white feather. And suddenly you might see a white feather literally falling in front of your feet. Or you will see a quill, a white quill on the internet. Somebody literally writing a letter with a white quill, white feather. And still you'll argue back, nah, that's just too easy. And then you'll say, I want to see a red fox. Show me a red fox. And at that point, you might see a dead red fox, okay, killed on the roadside. And it's like at some point, they're going to slap you around. And the Nine of Swords to the Seven of Swords is your anxiety. Your inability to say yes. Yes, I am the high priestess. Yes, I am a magician. Yes, I am an alchemist. I can turn shit into diamonds. And you're not. That's why the Seven of Swords is here. You're lying to yourself. You're gaslighting yourself. Shit. Honestly, people like that, the 1% don't need to worry. You'll do your own damage. They don't need to worry about you. Your mind will bring you right back to the invisible prison that you don't want to be in. Ten of Wands, carrying these burdens up on the... And Ten of Wands is always about drop your burdens. Well, what are my burdens? Well, I don't believe I'm ready. Well, I don't meditate every day. Okay, well then do. Well, when I meditate, I feel like I don't feel good, like my mind's constantly talking. Yes, I know, that's why you meditate. No one's asking you to not talk in your head. We want you to know why your mind is a monkey and basically slapping the shit out of you left and right. Basically, your monkey mind, which is a temporary avatar system that you're in, is owning you. You're being owned like a bitch by your avatar. I'm just being honest, okay? And trust me, I've been there, okay? And I struggle, but I work on it, okay? Ten of Wands, so what do they need to know? The Six of Pentacles, balance yourself. The Ten of Wands, it keeps coming up as a theme. And the Ten of Wands is the Seven of Wands. It's almost like you want to hold on to your bullshit. It's almost like you want to believe that you're not ready, okay? You don't want to win. Be honest. And what is winning? I don't mean money. I mean your spiritual freedom, your sovereignty in a world that is no longer owned by nefarious beings. You know what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Let me continue. Justice, the karma. Queen of Cups, you're very emotional. The Hermit going within, 9. Into the Three of Wands, the portals are open. What they're saying is that your heart is so big and beautiful. You're so gentle. You're so sweet. You're so loving. But you're such an overgiver that you've never learned how to give yourself the gift of mastering yourself, of being that high priestess, of calling yourself out as a high priestess. Okay? And so the Hermit is going within. The Three of Wands saying the portals are open. It's time. It's kind of like they're showing me Khalil Gibran's The Prophet. The Prophet. Hang on for a quick second. I have it here. I'll read it to you in a minute because we're going to do... This is homework, girls. This is what we're doing. And gentlemen, if you're here, I'm going to read to you the coming of the ship afterwards because I need you to understand what this is. Okay? I need you to hack out of your monkey brain and walk right into 5D. And I do not want you to look at what your eyes are saying, which your eyes are lying. And again, I'm going to repeat myself. We know that the human eye, the optical system that we have in 3D, does not see every color available because we are not at the frequency, and this is scientifically proven. There are colors we cannot see. Okay? Ten of Pentacles, what does that mean, please? The moon. Spiritual material conflict is the moon. 18. And the moon is saying, I can't see. I can't see what. Well, how is this going to happen? Now, you know the trick of manifesting anything that's like basically pedestrian, be it a car, a job, a man, a woman, whatever, right? It's actually not looking at how you get there. It's actually visualizing that you're there. See, it's the trying to figure out how you're going to get there that fucks people up. That's why the manifesting doesn't work for probably 90% of the people. It's how, it's literally, you have to see yourself there, not the journey of getting there. Hence the spiritual material conflict of the moon. And trust me, I'm reminding myself of that fact just now, just like I'm telling you. Ace of Wands, a new beginning. I was crying when I first said this. Ace of Wands is after the fire comes spring. Page of Swords is learn new things. It has nothing to do with spying. It has to do with learning, understanding what is in front of you, the new information. And they're asking you to study. You know, scratch the surface, go deep, go know, you know, deep divers. You know, that guy, Deep Divers, Ralph? Go deep diving. The Hangman. Why is the Hangman here, please? Ah, the Empress. We've seen her before. The Empress to the Knight of Swords, an impulsive messenger, into the Three of Swords, a broken heart. And I know exactly what they're saying. They're saying to me, tell them there will be people who you will lose. You will lose them. On the bottom of this is the portals have opened with the Three of Wands. At the top, it finishes. I'm actually going to clarify the Three of Swords. So it's 3-3. You're going to lose people. You're going to stay and wait for them to wake up. And it will be too late for you. I'm straight up. There's a lot of threes with the Empress. That's 3. The Three of Swords, that's 3. We got, again, and it's funny. So that there's only one -3, which is the Three of Swords, but there's the Empress 3, the Three of Wands, it's 9. It's coming out to 9. Tell me why the Three of Swords can be overcome. The Eight of Cups, fucking walk away. The Four of Wands, 11, you're in the right track. Karma. It's up to you. It's up to you. Justice, karma. Do what you, and can they win? The Ace of Swords, if you're honest and you cut your shit out of your way. You got to cut things out, Ace of Swords. And you've got to be honest, radically honest with yourself about losing people that refuse. They will hold on to the Kool-Aid. You can tell them it's poison. You can tell them it will harm them. They don't give a shit. They want that Kool-Aid. Let them have it. I'm sorry. I know it's not pleasant. Okay. But I'm going to read to you. This is based on, it's called The Prophet by Khalil Gibran, and I'm going to read it to you because it's important, and then we'll go back to reading again, they're guiding me, and I'm going with what they're saying. It's called The Coming of the Ship by Khalil Gibran, and it's based on Yeshua, just so you know. But it could be any prophet. As a matter of fact, why don't you think of yourself as a high priestess that has been sitting on this island, feeling trapped all your life, and the ships have come in. Okay? So I'm going to read it to you. Al-Mustafa, the chosen and the beloved, who was a dawn unto his own day, had waited 12 years in the city of Orphalisi for his ship that was to return and bear him back to the isle of his birth. And in the 12th year, on the 7th day of Iol, the month of reaping, he climbed the hill without the city walls and looked seaward, and he beheld his ship. The month of reaping, he climbed the hill without the city walls and looked seaward, and he beheld his ship coming with the mist. Then the gates of his heart were flung open, and his joy flew far out over the sea. And he closed his eyes, and he prayed in the silences of his soul. But as he descended the hill, a sadness came upon him, and the thought in his heart, how shall I go in peace and without sorrow? Nay, not without a wound in the spirit shall I leave this city. Long were the days of pain I have spent within its walls, and long were the nights of only another winding will of the stream. Hang on, did I skip here? No, sorry, I just skipped. Long were the nights of aloneness, and who can depart from his pain and his aloneness without regret? Listen to this again. Who can depart from his pain and his aloneness without regret? Too many fragments of the Spirit have I scattered in the streets, and too many are the children of my longing that walk naked among these hills, and I cannot withdraw from them without a burden and an ache. It is not a garment I cast off this day, but a skin that I tear with my own hands. What is he saying? Why are they asking me to read this to you? It is not easy to let go what you've always known. It will take courage, and yes, you will weep. Nor is it a thought that I leave behind me, but a heart made sweet with hunger and with thirst. Yet I cannot tarry long. You don't have a lot of time, my friends. The sea that calls all things under her calls me, and I must embark. For to stay, though the hours burn in the night, is to freeze and crystallize and be bound in a mold. Fain would I take with me all that is here, but how shall I? A voice cannot carry the tongue, and the lips that give it wings, alone must it seek the ether. And alone and without his nest shall the eagle fly across the sky. Now when he reached the foot of the hill, he turned again towards the sea, and he saw his ship approaching the harbor, and upon her prow the mariners, the men of his own land. You will meet your tribes, your soul tribe. Do you understand what he's saying? They will come, you will meet them, you will lose people who you feel blood kin, and you thought you've known them since you were 5th grade or 2nd grade or whatever. And yet suddenly, as you leave them behind, you will meet your true soul tribe. Not of blood, but something stronger. And his soul cried out to them, and he said, Sons of my ancient mother, you riders of the tides, how often you have sailed in my dreams, and now you come in my awakening, which is my deeper dream. Ready am I to go, and my eagerness with sails full set awaits the wind. Only another breath will I breathe in this still air, only another loving look cast backwards, and then I shall stand among you, a seafarer among seafarers. Do you know that you and I have always been nomads? Do you realize that every time we took an incarnation, every time we travel by boat or plane, we've always been a nomadic species, a multidimensional being that always was curious and wanted to experience so much. And now 3D, we've grown out of 3D. It is like wearing tight clothes and tight shoes that no longer fit. On another breath will I breathe in the still air, only another loving look cast backwards, and then I shall stand among you, a seafarer among seafarers. And you, vast sea, sleepless mother, who alone are peace and freedom to the river and the stream, only another winding will this stream make, only another murmur in this glade, and then I shall come to you, a boundless drop to a boundless ocean. And as he walked, he saw from afar men and women leaving their fields and their vineyards and hastening towards the city gates. And he heard their voices calling his name and shouting from field to field, telling him one another of the coming of a ship. And he said to himself, Shall the day of parting be the day of gathering? And shall it be said that my eve was in truth my dawn? And what shall I give unto him who has left his plow in mid-furrow, or to him who has stopped the wheel of his winepress? Shall my heart become a tree heavy laden with fruit, that I may gather and give unto them? And shall my desires flow like a fountain, that I may fill their cups? Am I a harp, that the hand of the mighty may touch me, or flute, that his breath may pass through me? A seeker of silence am I, and what treasure have I found in silence that I may dispense with confidence? Did you hear that? A seeker of silence am I, and what treasure have I found in silence that I may dispense with confidence? That's you. You've never had the confidence, and yet you have been silent, and you have learned so much. You have such wisdom that you have never been confident to unleash it. If this is my day of harvest, in what fields have I sowed the seed, and in what unremembered seasons? If this indeed be the hour in which I lift up my lantern, it is not my flame shall I burn therein? Empty and dark shall I raise my lantern, and the guardian of the night shall fill it with oil, and he shall light it also. When he says the guardian of the night, he's talking about God. And shall fill it with oil and light it also. These things he said in words, but much in his heart remained unsaid, for he himself could not speak his deeper secrets. Does that sound like you? And when he entered into the city, all the people came to him, and they were crying out to him as with one voice, and the elders of the city stood forth and said, Go not yet away from us. At noontime have you been in our twilight, and your youth has given us dreams to dream. No stranger are you among us, nor a guest, but our son and our dearly beloved. Suffer not yet our eyes to hunger for your face. And the priests and priestesses said unto him, Let not the waves of the sea separate us now, and the years you have spent in our midst become a memory. You have walked among us a spirit, and your shadow has been a light upon our faces. Much have we loved you, but speechless was our love, and with veils has it been veiled. Yet now I cries aloud unto you, and would stand revealed before you. And ever has it been that love knows not its own depth until the hour of separation. And others came also and entreated him, but he answered them not. He only bent his head, and those who stood near him saw his tears falling upon his breast. And he and the people proceeded towards the great square before the temple. And there came out of a sanctuary a woman whose name was Almitra, and she was a seeress. And he looked upon her with exceeding tenderness, for it was she who had first sought and believed in him when he had been in a day in their city. And she hailed him, saying, Prophet of God, in quest of the uttermost, long have you searched the distance for your ship, and now your ship has come, and you must needs go. Deep is your longing for the land of your memories and the dwelling place of your greater desires, and our love would not bind you, nor our needs hold you. Yet this we ask ere you leave us, that you speak to us and give us of your truth. And we will give it unto our children, and they unto their children, and it shall not perish. In your aloneness you have watched with our days, and in your wakefulness you have listened to the weeping and the laughter of our sleep. Now therefore disclose us to ourselves, and tell us all that has been shown you of that which is between birth and death. And he answered, People of Orphalesi, of what can I speak save of that which is even now moving within your souls? And then it starts, speak to us of love. It's one of the greatest books ever written. When he died in New York City in the early part of 1920s, there was all of Fifth Avenue was closed down. All of Fifth Avenue, and there was a cortege. He was highly respected, and I highly recommend you buy the book, The Prophet by Khalil Gibran. So that's what they wanted me to read to you. And you are that prophet. And why do I say that to you? Because who are you to be a prophet? If you are serious to co-architect the 5D new earth, if you are serious about leaving behind a planet that is dear to your heart, a planet that others will enjoy long after you're gone, then you are a seer. You're a high priest, a high priestess. You come from a line of souls that for a long, long time, you forgot yourself, as I did. And you were trapped in these see-through cages that were well programmed by certain nefarious systems of oppression in our planet. And many of you will have the utmost honor to see this new earth unfold. And many of you will see it from behind the veils. And that should be enough. But your job is to architect that planet, because right now what's happening, what's being said, an egregore is growing. It's an egregore of a thunder god of war. And you know it, and I know it. And the way you overcome this bleak acceptance that many have accepted in this particular timeline is to be that light against the dark. And I feel that we have gone through many centuries of, if you look at history, this is why people say history repeats itself, which I think is ironic, but on a spiritual level, and it hit me. Many, many times we've been given the chance of 5D, many, many times, every 100 years. But we've never been awake like this, not like this. We had the Houdinis, and we had the Blavatskys, and we had the Crawleys, we had the Sleeping Prophet, we had Edgar Cayce, we had these people, these weird, fractured, unhealed, fucked up sages. I'm just going to call it. And for the first time, we have a technology and a beautiful ability to literally help each other hold the line in ways we've never done, never before. That's the difference. That's why the ancient seers, oracles, prophesied this timeline. The technology was important to bring us to this point so that I could communicate to you, whether you were in Hong Kong, Japan, and people like me, people like you could communicate this incredible power. And honestly, right now, it's somewhat untapped because the egregore of fear is lobotomizing your power. It's castrating your passions. It's always about, am I enough? Am I ready? Why would you ask when you were born in this timeline? Why would you ask if you listen to people like me? If you listen to people like me, you are ready. Because I can tell you right now, there's about 200 people looking at someone else on this live right now. 200 people, 500 people arguing over hair color, nail, or what's happening in the injustices that we're witnessing. You believe in the unseen. They don't. You believe that it can be better, and you believe in the magic of this age, and they don't. They've accepted the egregore that's been given to them by systems of oppression. You need to not go down that rabbit hole. That's why when you close your eyes, what you visualize, and you might visualize horror, and that's when you chant Om Dum Durgaye Namaha, or you chant Om Namah Shivaya, or you chant Ahom Prema. They're all on my TikTok playlist of mantras for abundance. And abundance, your freedom, my freedom, our freedom, and the freedom of our lineages that we embody today is literally holding its breath, that we become those alchemists we were born to be. So I'm going to ask for further guidance into this possibility. Ancient. And just so you know, I said Pleiadians and Lyrans are guiding me to every move I'm making today, which is, I've never done this before. I've never felt this before like this. Personally, yes, but not for you. And I was told to do this live. And so I'm going to say this. You know, right, that you've been Arcturian, you've been Lyran, you've been fucking Andromedan. In other words, just like you've been every race, creed, color in this planet, you probably most likely have had at least 3 or 4 racial embodiment in the other spheres, okay, other planets, which means if I'm saying Lyran and Pleiadian, it's connected to you. It's connected to you. You know what I mean? In some capacity, we are actually being spoken to by our ancestors. Do you understand? That's what's happening. Okay. What do you want our brothers and sisters to know right now? 5 of Cups, the disappointments of the failures. Okay, listen to me. Okay? The 5 of Cups is about, you literally see a man standing down by a river. He's completely dejected. His head is down, bowed in defeat, looking at 3 cups spilled. Behind him are 2 cups, a brand new beginning. He's not looking behind him. He's only looking at the failures. It's the number 5. Okay. But then we have the 4 of Wands. One of the great cards, the 1111. Everything's balanced. The 4 pillars. The power. Many of you were activated. The first numbers you ever saw, which people have called angel numbers, I'm going to call them, it's the mathematics of God. The angels are her messengers, his conduits, just like we're the fractals. And so when you all first saw numbers, many of you, that will be your truth, my truth, so it's a collective truth for many of us, was 1111. And then it refined into other numbers. Okay? That's an activation. Do you know how many people still don't see those numbers? Swear to God. Ask the bus driver. Ask the your co-worker. Oh, do you ever see 1111? They'll look at you like you've lost your mind. So it's an activation. And the 3 of Pentacles, you might see 333, which is God's perfect master number. Many of you have graduated to 144, 414, 441. You'll see it multiple times a day. That's when you've graduated. And 1111 doesn't come in as much anymore. It's the 9s that come in. It's the numbers of you and your beloved. And also a lot, it's you. 3 is mastery. 3 of Pentacles is mastery. Think of the cathedrals. Think of Notre Dame or the Chartres Museum. I call it the museum, but the Chartres Cathedral, built by the Knights Templars in honor of the Blue Madonna. Okay? So this is mastery of the self, mastery of the monkey mind. 3 represents the balance between the mind, body, and spirit. Why the 5 of Cups, please? How many? 9 of Cups, there will be an offer, but you will not believe it. 5 of Pentacles, because you feel homeless. The Hangman comes in saying, will you start looking at the whole panorama? In other words, can I tell you something I do? And it's in my, again, my guided meditations under the 4 corners above and below. I will do, when I do that, I will look at the south. I will say I'm being born upon the wings of Garuda, the gold eagle, and I say thank you for every tear, every betrayal, every death, every birth, every joy, every triumph. Thank you for everything that has ever happened to me, for I would not be joy, every triumph. Thank you for everything that has ever happened to me, for I would not be who I am today without these experiences. I am so grateful. Aho. So this is literally like you in the 5 of Cups is disappointment in the life experience that you've had. Why? Do you still have your 5, 10 toes and fingers? Do you still have a head? Do you still have both eyes? Are you able to walk? Can you sit down? Can you take a shower on your own? Are you able to cook whatever the hell you want? Can you get in your car? In other words, what is wrong with you in not realizing that this life was to be riddled with experiences and textures, and yes, tears, and yes, loss, and yes, failures. But were they failures in the way you've beaten yourself up on? Do you understand? You're winning because you're still strong and you're resilient and you have power and you know how grateful you should be. And I'm here to remind you that every morning you should say, thank you for my pillow. Swear to God, start stupid as hell. Thank you for my pillow. God, I love my blankets. I love my mattress. I love my cat. I just love, I just love I love my bathroom. My God, but you're in bed saying all this. I love that today the sun is shining. I love that today it's raining. I love that it's snowing. I love the leaves. You start your day with that. As soon as you're aware of the monkey mind, you say that. Then you work on your chakras in bed, hitting the snooze button, and you're chanting a mantra you've chosen that you love to your chakras. Then you allow your feet to hit the floor. So let's continue. 5 of Cups, which is disappointment. The Knight of Cups is an offer. 5 of Pentacles is feeling homeless. It's not good enough. And the Hangman is saying, look at your life from a different angle. You should, from the vantage point of an eagle, an owl, a hawk. I don't give a shit. Be up on a bird of prey, looking down at the expansiveness of your life and say, congratulations. You're still standing. Okay? Let's keep going. 4 of Wands is, how does that look for them? The 7 of Pentacles is upside down, which is good in my opinion, because it means I'm no longer confused. I'm making an investment in what I want to do. 8 of Pentacles, I'm learning new ways of engagement. The King of Swords is, in my opinion, a problem because it says, well, it's an analytical. Well, it's not logical. Well, logic is, most people who are logical aren't the happiest people I've ever met. Tell me more. The Hangman. It keeps saying, keep going to the Hangman. If you keep going through these default of logic, keep going to the Hangman. Look at your life. 3 of Pentacles. Tell me, do they make it? Queen of Cups. Be in your heart. Temperance. Transformation with Angel Michael. 6 of Pentacles. Balance what and who you give to. Overgive to yourself. Tell me more. 6 of Pentacles. I mean, they're like, literally, I got another card. They're saying 6 of Pentacles to 6 of Pentacles. Balance yourself. Overgive to yourself. Overgive time. Overgive anything. You want to stay in bed, stay in bed. You want to go out, go out. You want to buy yourself something frivolous, do that. But remember that in this journey, if you want to be in a better world, you are responsible to create it yourself. No one's coming to save you. Not a spaceship, not aliens. No one's coming, because they've come before and it did not last. Okay? It did not last. We've already done this. Andromeda Flame and I have gone to the Galactic Council. I swear to God, I'm not being funny. And we asked in anger, help us. This was last year. And they said, we have helped you. Every time we've helped you. And it never worked. It never stuck. What you guys are doing is something that will reverberate across the universes. If you can do this in the 3D containment of this brain, this archaic fucking cemented brain, if you can hack out of it and transmute, right, the corruptness of societies that you've been in for centuries, if you can hack out of this liminal system, we have given you blueprints. What are the blueprints? I keep talking about them. The monks who meditate in snow in loincloth for hours and do not lose their limbs. The people going into surgery who have such mastery of their mind that they do not need anesthesiologists to help them, while they go into massive surgery, be it the brain, be it heart, be it whatever, recorded. We've had blueprints. We've had blueprints of people coming back from death to report what they saw. We've had people come back from hypnosis to tell us what they saw. And this is insane. Thousands, hundreds of thousands of people, at this point, millions, saying, we saw this, that, and the other. And many of them reported similar experiences. We have nefarious systems who are using the metaphysical, the occult, and the etheric to try to manipulate it and own it. That's all you need to know. The rest will come as you evolve. But you have to master this monkey mind. You have a virus. I have a virus. Like McAfee, right? Coming in to clean it. Well, your McAfee is fucking yoga, chanting, and meditation. It's an exorcism. It's a battle. It's a discipline. It's why some people can go on a bed of nails. I find it interesting that they don't talk about these Sikhs and Hindus that could lay on a bed of nails. I wouldn't be able to do it with you. We used to, in the 80s, walk on coals. Some people ran across it. You can still get burnt. Think about what I'm saying. Actually, I apologize. What they're saying. What else do you want them to know? Give me a card, please. The Ace of Wands. Remember, it started out. It's ending with this. It's saying the force is burning. Good. Spring comes and all grows back better than ever. The Native Americans would go and purposely do controlled burnings. You know this, right? And they would do it because you had to get rid of the old to get the new. They were a people who did not own land. They were more in touch with God than anyone who sat in a pew. And they saw God everywhere, everywhere. They didn't have, they got names, River God, but River God was God. Sky Goddess, but that was God. I think we've misunderstood. I think some people are so fucking educated, they're dumb because they've actually never really understood how what they call pagans saw the world. And then somehow they actually started believing that, oh yeah, there were different little gods, demigods and devas and devis, and they started breaking it down. But I think that was a bastardization, very similar to what happened to Yeshua and Mary Magdalene. Do you want them to know anything else? Anything else? Okay, Sacred Rebel cards by Alana Fairchild. I'm going to read this to you. It's pretty lengthy usually, but I think it's worth it. Should we use this? What do they need to know, please? What do they need to know, please? What do they need to know? Okay, they said bottom. The perfection of your life. It's a grid over a forest, a redwood, I kid you not. And it's number 33. Balance of mind, body, and spirit. That's interesting. I can't believe it. But anyway, let me look at the number. Let's see what the page number is. That should be interesting. The perfection of your life, 124. So that's 7. 7, by the way, is the journey. Just so you know, it's the journey. And we are on this journey together. And we've always been on this journey. Okay, so let me read it to you. All right. Have you ever seen a storm pictured from above? It can appear to be so beautiful and elegant. Oh, that's a perfect card. Did you hear this? Have you ever seen a storm pictured from above? It can appear to be so beautiful and elegant. This is certainly different to the ground view, which can be quite a violent experience. So too, there is great beauty in your life now. However, at this point in the natural process, you may be experiencing it as anxiety-inducing rather than beautiful. You may sense it as eternal chaos. You may feel it as something that is waiting to erupt from within, as a restlessness or an anxiety that you cannot quite articulate, but sense vaguely nonetheless. Perhaps the chaos is fully fledged and a person or situation in your life is causing all kinds of havoc, upheaval, or change and uncertainty in your world. Whether the chaos seems subtle, strong, internal, or external, this oracle brings the same message for you. All is unfolding according to a perfect higher order. You are currently enduring a cosmic spiritual storm which is having an impact on you. It is a clearing things out, ruffling feathers, and preparing you for that lovely, super fresh, uplifting feeling that one experiences after the storm has finally passed. If you have drawn the oracle of after the storm as well, this message is amplified for you. Even if you do not have, you have not chosen the card, but feel intuitively drawn to read the message for it after the healing process below, you are encouraged to do so. If you cannot believe there's anything happening, even at a subtle level, because you feel stuck, denied, bored, thwarted, or stale, this oracle brings you a message also. No matter what appears to be, in truth, there's only the unfolding creative genius of the universe. You are not forgotten. You have not been looked over. You have not been denied, found wanting, or rejected as unworthy. The storm that needs to erupt is in your heart. Do your liberating rain dance. Rage, weep, pray, dance, paint, or sing. Express whatever is needed, however is needed, to exercise the blocked energy in your heart. Then you will call on the powerful perfection of your life path as it aligns for the next creative turn, the spiral of life. Once again, you will trust and directly experience the flower of life unfolding within you and around you. The healing process, so please settle. Imagine that you are standing at the silent center of a great cleansing storm. All aspects of your life are rained upon, blown about, and even messed up a little. How do you feel? The storm then passes and you are left with soft sunshine and slightly soggy feet. Some parts of your life will have been washed away. Some others will be strong and stable, a bit messy perhaps, but still there nonetheless. How do you feel? Underneath your feet, you see a pattern forming in the cleansed earth as if it is rising up from the damp, slightly disturbed soil, a golden, gleaming geometric pattern of the flower of life. Sense the perfection of the form. See how each flower feeds into the next in symmetry, harmony, and balance. Finish this practice with the following. I give thanks for the higher order of my life, which I trust implicitly as it guides me into wholeness and love. From that which appears as chaos, new order is rising. I trust this and receive the gift of a higher order in my life. Now, through grace and mercy, so be it. Relax for a moment and visualize the new earth. Did you think it would come carrying roses and a wedding cake? Did you think it would come gently into the dark night? Did you really think it would come like that? No. It would come like a storm, like a woman that has been betrayed. Because in a sense, the planet has been betrayed for too long, and the imbalance shall not continue. Okay? What else do you want them to know? Another card. What else do you want them to know? Shock of the new. Shock of the new. 6. Okay? In one side of this woman's head is metals and keyboard. On the other is sunflowers. Her throat chakra is got sacred geometry on her throat chakra. Okay? Shock of the new. What wild, unconventional voice is calling for you? Can you hear it? Is it different and so unusual it might be hard to decipher? Like hearing an unfamiliar language for the first time. It might be hard to discern with great clarity now, but there is an affinity between you and this strangely beautiful newness seeking to manifest. Do you understand? 5D is not going to happen in the old you or the you of last week. It has to come from a new version of you. This oracle says there is a stirring at the deeper level within you. Something new will break through, and the process of this birth may be a shock to you. The shock will transform into great joy and a sense of tremendous liberation, but you must bear the strangeness first. That strangeness might be something that rattles your belief about yourself and your world, daring you to become more of yourself, more open to where life is leading you, and more willing to be the unique sacred art being crafted by the hand of the universal creature. Nature never shies away from strange beauty. She allows for endless diversity, and her sacred works are often peculiar and stunning. You live within her field of creative grace as a specially created work that also creates. You are being asked to surrender any fear you may have of seen as exotic, unusual, eccentric, or bizarre. You're being asked to make peace with strange beauty and to let it happen through you in a creative flow. Perhaps you need to allow your conventional ideas of beauty to become even more inspired and open. Do you remember how we saw the Ten of Wands? That was a theme, the Ten of Wands and Nine of Wands. Yeah, that's you holding on to what is expected of you. The burdens of the Ten of Wands is you holding on to what is expected of you, which is, and you got to drop them. You got to say, this is heavy load. This is not even mine. These are expectations and things. I don't even want this. This is not even who I want to be. And it's you letting go. Okay? You live within a field of creative grace as especially created works that also creates. You are being asked to surrender any fear you may have of being seen as exotic, unusual, eccentric, or bizarre. You're being asked to make peace with strange beauty and to let it happen through your creative flow. Perhaps you need to allow your conventional ideas of beauty to become even more inspired and open. Perhaps you can allow your need for the world to behave according to your fixed ideas to fall away, and you will receive so much more in its place. Yeah, you think ascension looks a certain way. You think you have to be a certain way, a certain age, a certain I don't know. You think you're not ready, that you need another year. You don't have another year. I'll tell you that. This oracle comes with a special message for you. There are rumblings and stirrings of the creative life force happening now, deep in the undercurrent of your being. If you are very attuned or sensitive, you may have consciously felt this already, with excitement, discomfort, or both. If you have not yet sensed these inner stirrings, they are happening all the same. So be on the lookout for the big shift of a new birth, the shock of the new, the unconventional, the strangely beautiful, and the disturbing liberation of that which is foreign stepping into your life. This is life creating the stage upon which you will experience greater fulfillment. Don't be nervous. If the rumbling of change turns into a mighty roar that rocks boats, bursts open as novel ideas, and changes things in a way that is out of your control, this is life happening. Free fall into it. Yeah. Jump into the mosh pit of your fear. The oracle of the shock of the new comes to you saying, the old way is on its way out. Have you noticed? The oracle of the shock of the new comes to you saying, the old way is on its way out. Have you noticed? The old way is on its way out. You are being invited, dragged, nurtured, coerced into the new. You can handle it. This oracle brings you guidance. You are about to encounter something new and different in your life. This is helpful. Don't reject it. No matter how small or insignificant or how powerful and life-changing it may seem to be, you are being asked to dispense with your reliance on the past. I gotta stop here. The entire reading of the Six of Cups was about you wanting the old world that we lived in the 70s, 60s, 80s, 90s, fucking 2000s, up until 2012. It's literally saying that to you. Don't reject it, no matter how small or insignificant or how powerful and life-changing it may seem. You are being asked to dispense with your reliance on the past and what has been your tools to navigate life. Yeah, good luck. If you keep holding on to what you think was tried and true, you're not going to make it in ascension. You have outgrown your old methods. You will have to fly by the seat of your pants, so to speak, as you experiment with new ways to be. Life will show you the way. Healing process. If you can, allow yourself to feel as though you are becoming soft and gentle in your mind, heart, and body. Breathe easily and relax. Imagine the strangest and most beautiful creature you can. Bring it to life with color and texture. You know what I think you'd like? Try to remember what I'm saying here, Because what I'd like you to do is go on my YouTube channel under guided meditations, or you can look at the most popular. You can like filter it through. There's a guided meditation. It's called Soul Retrieval Guided Meditations. Okay. And imagine yourself in an incarnation when you were on another planet. You will be guided through a hallway of doors. On either side will be doors. And you will see, you'll open, but you'll go into this guided meditation with the intention of seeing yourself in a past life on another planet. And the door will be opened. You will open it. You will choose that door. And I want you to step into it and see who you were. Look down at your feet, your hands. If you find it difficult to visualize, you may like to write a description of your strange and beautiful creature, or simply imagine what it would feel like. If you can't see anything in the guided meditation that's on my YouTube channel, I want you to go ahead and automatic write. Say, I give my soul the permission to guide me from the highest light. Please show me a past life where I was on another planet. Describe me to me. What did I look like? What did I feel like to myself? Was I happy? What was the society I lived in? Does it have soft fur, sharp claws, feathery wings made of crackling, fizzing electrical currents, or sensitive furry antennas with delicate eyes on the tips? Or is it a strange flower that speaks? A tree that grows upside down? Whatever comes to you, or is just what is needed. Trust in your imagination, as subtle or wild as it is. But we're not doing imaginations today, are we? We're looking to excavate our souls. We're looking to find out who we were, so we can gather that power back for the great push. I am supported through the shock of the new. I accept the beauty in all that is foreign or strange to me, as I know it is bringing me new gifts, wisdoms, life experiences, and creative inspiration. Through unconditional love, so be it. So yeah, I think that was good. It's very interesting how I was very much guided. And I want to thank the Pleiadian ancestors, the Lyrans, for their beautiful desire to come in and guide me to share from these oracles and so forth. The messages were clear. You know what to do. Any questions or comments? Did I miss anything? Because I never look down until I'm done. Any questions or comments? Okay. So if you want to see the whole live, and I certainly suggest in this case that you do, please go on my YouTube channel. It'll be uploaded. You need to look at the very beginning. It's 11:55. So this is 12, the hangman. And the hangman, here we go again. 12 in numerology is the victim and the sacrifice. You cannot be that anymore. 12 needs to be 3, the mastery of the self. Okay? Sending you much love on your journey. Namaste, be well. I'll talk to you soon.